Everyone, it's Yvonne here to do your What's Cracking reading. We are going to be using the Golden Wheel Tarot for your reading. I've got out two decks here that I haven't used as much, and two Oracle decks that I haven't used as much. So thought we'd have a bit of a brand new start to the week. Before I go any further, thank you so much for subscribing and for all of your support. It never goes unnoticed. I will be away for Christmas Day, Boxing Day and New Year's Day, but I'm here to do readings on the other days. So if you wanted to book in a reading with me, the Aussie Goddess at gmail.com. The Aussie Goddess, all one word, no breaks, no numbers, all spelt correctly. And hopefully I get my website up next year. Just a bit of a little bit, I guess, of a concern of whether it was going to be worth it to me to manage it this year. All right, what else do I need to say? If you're interested in membership with me, join button below or membership button, and it does have a description of what you get within that membership. And for those of you who haven't emailed me yet, please get an email through. I am doing one-on-one classes with people and offering some other bits and pieces like coaching. So if you want any of those things, please make sure you email me. Is there anything else, Yvonne? No, I think we're pretty much ready to go. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so we're starting off the reading with the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is one of those cards that does have multiple meanings. But for me, it sort of is that empty victory card, like winning at something but then walking away and feeling like you haven't really won what you wanted to win. So for me, it's like walking away from a relationship when you really like the person but they're not putting any effort in, or giving up a job because you feel like the pay isn't great, or maybe the communication is poor. But whatever it is, it's that energy of walking away from something, or a Pyrrhic victory, an empty victory. It can, of course, talk about thinking of yourself, making sure that you're being sort of a little bit more self-centered when it comes to a particular situation. So it can sometimes be seen as sort of as being selfish, but I don't feel it's sort of being selfish in that negative sense. So something you're walking away from because it's not rewarding you in the way that you need it to reward you. You do have the Ace of Pentacles coming through here, so I feel like it's in regard to money. It could be that you're leaving something because it isn't accruing money the way you wanted it to. So, for example, you could have started up a business. It may be really slow in progressing. But I want to say to you, with the Ace of Pentacles there, makes me feel like you might have walked away from something before, or on the verge, or at the beginning of something new. I think we've all done that. When you give up on something, you think that's it, and then something happens and you think, I wished I'd have stuck with it just that little bit longer, because that's the sort of energy that's coming through. All right, so we have the Ace of Wands behind that. Wow, with the Two of Pentacles. There is a new beginning coming through here, and I feel like you're thinking of walking away from it. We do have the King of Swords here, which represents Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Are you ready to walk away from someone because they're non-committal? Because it's almost like you've got a new beginning right around the corner. If this is a relationship, it could be that you're dealing with somebody that you don't know where they are, but you may be overthinking it and thinking it's time to walk away if nothing's happening. But to me, this makes me feel like something is about to happen. So, for example, if you're dealing with somebody who doesn't talk very much or doesn't communicate their feelings, it's possible they're just about to sort of send the L word flying at you, or, move to a new commitment or whatever else. I feel like it's right on the verge of that, but I feel like somehow or another you're ready to walk away. So we'll dig a little bit deeper. All right, so we have the Page of Wands coming through. You may have tried communicating. We do have the Queen of Wands, so I really like that you're finding self-respect here. You don't really want to let go of something, but you have the Lovers card here as well. So it's like you've reached an impasse. maybe you've got to a point in a situation where you are making a choice of the direction to go in. But what I love here is that you're considering yourself. That's why the Five of Swords is there, right? So what you're doing is you're putting yourself first and saying, this isn't going the way I want it to, whatever it is. I don't feel like I'm getting anything out of it, and I'm worth more than that. So I'm going to turn my back and walk away. What I really like about this is this energy of, I really want to put work into this, but the other side are not doing that. So if it's a relationship, I feel like you've tried communicating, or maybe tried to have those talks with the person, but they're not really, I feel like they're not committing. That Knight of Wands makes me feel like they've been a bit sort of edgy on, or not really sort of putting in an effort. But I feel like this person is about to make a commitment. All right, so we have the Emperor coming through. There it is right there. All right, Page of Swords with the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like your person is just slow. Now, sometimes they can be slow because there's been somebody else in the picture, and they may be a bit cautious about how they move forward this time, which is coming across very strongly. But you've got a lot of communication in this particular reading. So whatever this situation is here, it's almost like it's about to resolve for you. Let me just go a bit further. Yeah, I have the Justice card coming through with the Eight of Swords. There you go. You're all tied up. And the King of Pentacles coming through. Right. So if this is a relationship with you, and I'm talking about a relationship that just hasn't moved forward or is stuck, I feel like the person, because this is to me a partner card. So this King of Pentacles or Queen of Pentacles represent partners for me. So I'm feeling like here this person is about to offer you something. If this is to do with work, then I would say to you, you're about to move away from a job or walk away from a job where you are about to get recognized. Give it just a little bit longer. If this is a personal business for you, you want to give up because you feel like it isn't really doing what it needs to, hang in there. It's about to show you that it will reap the rewards. Whatever this is, this energy that's coming through today is almost like the universe saying to you, you're right on the threshold of making that difference. Whatever it is, you're right on the threshold. So stick with it because the answers are coming here. All right, that was a very short reading, so I'm going to put some extra cards on it. All right, so we have the Five of Swords. So it's like, to me, this is that turning your back on it. Even if you don't want to, you're ready to turn your back on something. I feel like here you've got a brand new beginning. You do have the Ace of Pentacles and you do have the Ace of Wands. So this is something that you feel you want to put time and energy into. Absolutely. You might feel very passionate about it, but for some unknown reason, you're weighing up whether it's worth investing any more of your time and energy. Now, you could be dealing with a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, but I feel, especially because there's quite a lot of swords in this reading, that it's your time to speak up and say something. So maybe it's time for you to sort of ask the questions. I do feel with the Knight of Wands here, whatever you're dealing with might be quite flippant, may not be giving you the feedback, or might be a person who's really not told you how they feel. I feel like that's coming. We do have the Wheel of Fortune. So there's definitely this sort of energy that you're right on the threshold of making a difference here. So whatever it is for you, just push through it for a little bit longer because it's about to show you its face. So it's really close. Let's just take these cards. All right, so I have the Moon, the Queen of Cups, the Four of Wands, and the Hierophant. For some of you, it's definitely a marriage commitment or a commitment for a long-term relationship. So that's right there. Because the Moon is here, we're not really seeing things for what they are. So it's very strange because I sort of can feel this energy today. It's like you've got something within reach, but it's not been showing you anything, or you're feeling let down. You're a bit in your head with that Eight of Swords coming through. There's a lot of swords energy here. So that to me is that overthinking. Is it that you've already invested so much in this particular situation that you don't want to let it go because you feel that you've invested, but maybe you can't afford to invest, or you don't want to invest any longer? So here we have the Queen of Cups with the Four of Wands and the Hierophant. Now this is marriage, commitment, absolutely. But what I'm feeling here is perhaps somebody has not expressed their love to you. Could be dealing with a Pisces or even a Cancer here. sometimes, you know, people take longer to get off the ground. Like it might be they've been slow moving because they've been in another situation. If it's a job, you may have been struggling through probation, feeling like you're not going any further, and then all of a sudden somebody comes in and says there's a lack of feedback or a lack of contact or communication, which is taking you down this path of sort of fear and anxiety. You do have the Justice card here, but because you have the Emperor here, I'm feeling with those two cards, there's this feeling that you've got to take your power back. You may be giving yourself a hard time. You may be sort of pushing yourself into a corner thinking something isn't working. So therefore, you know, at what point do I let it go? But to me, it's just about having that communication to find out. If it's a work thing, maybe it's time you have a conversation with your boss or your manager about, you know, whether the job is staying or going. You know, the biggest thing for me there is when you're on a contract and your contract's coming to the end and nobody's told you whether they're extending your contract or not. And you can be quite, I've had places where they haven't come in till, actually, I think I had one place where they didn't come in until my contract had expired. And I remember my team leader or manager saying to me, no, we're keeping you on. But there was still that feeling that somehow or another it wasn't going to happen because I hadn't heard. They were just late getting the letters out. But it's not the point. I can understand whatever this is. It's almost like, you've got woodwives here. It's almost like you're right on the verge of finding something out, but it's just not quite there yet. And that Wheel of Fortune tells me it is coming your way. 64. Okay, adaptability, strong roots and growth. The woodwives dance into your dreams as a reminder to be grounded no matter what life offers you. There's good advice. You need to know who you are, what you'll tolerate and what you've learned to date, and what boundaries you set so you feel good about yourself. Life is going to offer you something extraordinary now, and in order to learn and receive its blessings, you must remember that being grounded gives you more freedom, not less. You have everything you need. You have all it takes right now. If you also keep reminding yourself to be flexible, you will be amazed at how things play out for you. The woodwives are both wisdom keepers and students of the new world, as these forest spirits have an uncanny ability to adapt to changing circumstances and always find the perfect way to grow and expand. They represent what you already know how to do. So learn, be in a beginner's mind, let go of your rigid notions about how things should be and be present to what is right now, unencumbered by your projections. Is there a storm brewing because things need to change? No worries, nothing can uproot you now and it will pass and you will dance with nature and move with it all. Perhaps you're being given an opportunity to take a chance on something new and you're not sure how far you can go without losing your footing. Have no fear, for when you remember your roots, your integrity and your authentic self, you can stretch yourself beyond the invisible line you drew. Go for it. You'll be so glad you did. So whatever this is, it just makes me feel like you're right on that turn. You're right on the turn of the Wheel of Fortune. You're right there. But you may have gone so far that you are feeling like leaving something behind. And it's almost like it's about to turn. All I want to say to you is ask questions, speak to someone, ask, don't be nervous. Maybe you've got yourself in a bit of a fritz with the Eight of Swords and you're not sure what to ask or who to speak to. If it's a relationship, then sit the person down and just say, I want to know where this is going. Like, I feel perhaps you're not as engaged as I am. And if you're not engaged, I'd rather just sort of count my losses and leave. But don't keep worrying about it. Communicate. That's probably the biggest thing here, is that communication. But that's good for you too. You're allowed to ask questions. You're allowed to sort of speak up for yourself. I think that a lot of us feel nervous that if we speak up, we'll lose something. Well, you're going to lose it if you're going to lose it anyway. So it doesn't matter whether you lose it now through speaking up or whether you're going to lose it further down the track. But whatever this is, I know that you're ready to turn your back on it. And I want to say to you, keep going, because I feel like somehow or another it's going to turn around beautifully for you. 14:44 on the clock again. How lovely. All right, I will leave you with that. Have an awesome day, and I will be doing the reading for Capricorn today. All right, much love to you.